Okay, so you've got your new camera, it's almost 2026. There are 5 things that you need to do, and if you don't do these, you'll be sitting here this time next year in exactly the same place. So let's get after it. Okay, so as the title says, it's time to start taking photographs and to stop trying to learn everything about photography before you even press the shutter. Now, I was there myself when I first started out. There's almost like a fear of going out and making mistakes, and it's much safer to stay in the house and watch some videos. But look at these 2 clips here. I'm going to show you 2 positions, and in this first position, this is how you take a good photograph. And in this position here, this is how you watch YouTube. Now, if you compare the 2, which one do you think is going to make you a better photographer? Knowing about it or doing it? So yeah, hit pause on the video, turn it off, pick up your camera, get outside and start making mistakes, because as I've said, here are some of mine. Okay, so taking bad photographs is part of the process. If you go back to the point about watching too much YouTube, you could spend 2 years watching YouTube videos on how to build a car. But that doesn't mean that the very next day you can go out with your tools in hand and think, I'm going to build a car. You have to do it bit by bit, you learn how things work, you make mistakes, and then you don't make them again. And it's the same with photography. You have to go out and take bad photographs. And as long as you've got an open mind and you can take some criticism on them, then you'll learn how to make them better. But as I promised, here are some of my photographs. Now, when I first started, I was convinced I was going to be the next David Bailey or Ansel Adams, and it turns out that, as you can see on the screen, I was neither of those things. I was terrible at photography. I had no idea what composition was going to be, but you know what? I kept going and I kept taking photographs. And you need to do the same thing, because the more you take, the better you get, and then the easier it is to use the camera, because you change your settings, you change your lenses, your focal length, all of that stuff, and it starts to become second nature. And also with every endeavour that's of an artistic or a sport nature, you get better and better and better, and then you hit a plateau, and hopefully you then get better and better. But sometimes it doesn't work like that, because as you can see here, I started with shit photograph, shit photograph, shit photograph, average photograph, then I hit a plateau, and then I thought, I'm getting good at this, and then the very next day, guess what? Shit photograph. And that can be the way it is. But don't give up, because over a longer period of time, you will start to see progress. It is not a straight line, it's a jagged curve, but at the end of it, you'll be a better photographer. So don't be scared of taking bad photographs, and see it as part of the process. Okay, so rolling on from the last tip, you're going out lots now, you're taking lots of different photographs, you've made your mistakes. But one thing that you really should try and do is stick to the same gear and have one camera body and one lens. And have one camera body and one lens. Because the better you get in using the same gear, the quicker you will start to learn. If you keep changing the lenses or you change the camera bodies, then there's more stuff for you to learn. Take one lens, take one camera body, go out and take a lot of different photographs, because as I said, gear is not important at this point once you have this and you have this, because no matter how much you spend on a lens or how much you spend on a camera body, they don't pick your composition. They don't go at a certain time of day so that you get the best light. All these do is capture the image that you want to take, and it's what you point it at. So make sure that if you're pointing this lens and camera body at something, you point it at something that knocks you in your ass, because then you've got a chance that your photo will be good. And remember, you could spend £10,000 on a lens, £20,000 on a camera body, put them together, £30,000, and all that means, if you don't know how to take a good photograph, is that bad photographs just look a little bit sharper. So get your gear that you're going to use and learn it inside out. So in the last tip we mentioned about taking good photographs, point your lens at something good and getting good composition. And if you're wanting to try and learn what that actually means and how you get good quick at it, I have put together an ebook It's not a hard sale. If you want to buy it, then great, and if not, that's also great. But I do have a bit of a discount on just now because it's a lead up to Christmas, and I'll keep it going through January as well. So be one of the first to pick it up. It's 30% off if you get it today, and it covers all major types of composition. But as I say, no pressure. If you want it, it's there. Right, so the reason we're back sitting at the computer in my usual position is because tip number 4 is you are going to have to learn to edit your photographs. But don't panic. There are a lot of great resources out there, and yes, I will permit you to watch some YouTube on it, but that's after you've been out with your camera. But the thing about editing is, I regularly get asked about how did you develop your own style, or how do I develop my own style? And the easiest way to do that is through edits. Yes, you can develop your own style because of what you shoot and how you shoot it or the time of day that you shoot it. But when it comes to editing, you can choose, do you want to change the colours? Do you want to remove some of the things that were in the image? Do you want to put a kind of vintage look on it? Do you like it to be bright? Do you like it to be dark? It's all of these things put together that starts to develop your style. And you are going to have to learn a little bit about editing if you want to do that. So you need to pick an editing software. Some of them are free, some of them you pay for, and some you pay monthly subscriptions for. I use Lightroom and DxO, but you could pick Capture One or look at some of the free ones. But get into the habit of taking your photographs back and starting to edit them. So when you set the camera up, you can choose to shoot in RAW, or you can shoot in JPEG, which is kind of like shooting with your mobile phone, or you can shoot in both in some cameras. But the good thing about shooting in RAW is when it comes out of the camera, it looks terrible, it looks grey and washed out, but that's so that the camera can protect as much detail as possible so that by the time you put it into your editing software, you can start to play about with the shadows, the highlights, you can move the colours. If you try and do that with a JPEG, which is a much smaller file, it starts to fall about. Now, I don't want to get overly technical just now, just pick your editing software, watch a few videos, and then take the photographs from when you've been out and see what you can do with it. And if you get stuck, leave some questions in the comments below, or just hit me up and I'll do my best to help. Because when it comes to style, if you want to be standing out, then you have to learn to be truly outstanding. David Muir, 2025. You can have that one. It's rubbish, isn't it? And the last bit of advice I can give you guys, now that we've saved a ton of money by not splurging on new gear, yes, I said splurging, if you've not wasted your money on a ton of new gear, filters, all of this sort of stuff, then you might have some money left in the bank. And that's where location plays a huge part in your photographs. Yes, you can set up scenes in your house and learn how your camera works and take photographs, or you can even walk around your local town. These are all fantastic steps to get better. But if you really want to get those jaw-dropping images, then you have to start travelling somewhere that might have a scene that you want to take. I'm a landscape photographer and I live in Scotland, so I'm spoiled for choice. And again, if you live in Iceland or somewhere like that, then it's the same. But you might be a street photographer, so you might want to travel to the major town at night or in the morning. But go somewhere, take your new camera, your new lens, get excited, pack your bag, go out for the day, because I guarantee you, you'll have an absolute blast. Because if all you're doing is taking your camera for a 10-minute walk around your house, it can get boring after a while. But when you've got sandwiches packed, you've got the car loaded, or you're on the train and you're going away for a day, it's a magical feeling. And that is why you got a camera in the first place. I hope. So now that you've got your camera, you've learned the 5 things that you need to do in the next 12 months, it's time to switch off YouTube. Then how can you watch the video I'm about to recommend? It's time to switch YouTube back on and get yourself inspired about places that you can go. And in this video, I show you 48 hours in Skye when I got some of the best photographs that I've ever got. So if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, then give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and come along for the journey, because there's going to be plenty more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one as always.